room you can see, and I will drag you into the room. And did somebody say that they know who cute trans girl is, or what about astral projector dude? Because y'all both just jumped in and at a very bad time if you are an actual person trying to join us. We just had a whole bunch of douchebags.
There was somebody in that I think was a real person, the like Pyrex, whatever the PX something.
Make people verify when they come in.
I think they were a real person if they want to join one of the other voice chats and then maybe join back in, assuming you didn't get banned. But
probably got scared off.
I'm
for sure. Well, so yeah, again, okay, yeah. So like I said, here's
okay, yeah.
I'm gonna take this moment. I gotta run to the bathroom. All right.
Yeah,
you guys,
no worries.
You guys do your thing. I'll be back in a sec.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling a little sick after what I just saw on my screen. I didn't even
see anything. So I'm sorry for whatever the hell that was to everybody.
You definitely got to delete the VOD.
Yeah, no,
I had
that's
to
fine.
restart my stream altogether. Like,
clip it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Can you delete the VOD right now?
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
No, you gotta wait till it's done, I think, or not.
No, you can make the VOD private so people can't go and clip it and save clips right now.
Hey,
no, you need to nuke it. You don't even need to make it private. You need to nuke it entirely.
Do it right now.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. Just delete the VOD entirely.
It's what I'm doing too.
Was any of it on your stream, Radish?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
it was all over.
Out if you're gonna post VOD to YouTube or something, but you know.
And like I said, the only thing that I can think of that happened or that caused or changed this was for it to have been fucking because I made it a community server today. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's just a coincidence, but it seems
that was
unusually coincidental.
If you did that today and didn't, like properly do permissions and things like that, and the verification, then it's
that
possible.
could have. Well, and that's what I was about to say is because I feel like it changed some of my permissions very abruptly. Yeah. So
how do I private this before it's for even in stream?
So I think that would, I don't know.
I'd have to wait till after and then get rid of the VOD.
That's kind of, yeah.
All right.
Basically. So I just like shut the stream off and then restarted the stream personally. So.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
just
I'm
go to your
going
creator dashboard, go to the video producer, and
going to
the little 3 dots. I forget what the 3 dots are called, but
Can I make a side note real quick? Somebody in my apartment complex is currently cooking bacon and waffles, and I can smell it. And I'm
wait. You can tell it's bacon and waffles specifically. You can smell the waffles.
Yes.
Are they like blueberry or something?
Are we not going to accept this?
How do you know
it's
it's
bacon pancakes?
No, it's waffles.
You know the exact design.
I know it is. I know it is a
making pancakes, making bacon
Are
pancakes.
they Batman waffles or like?
No,
like
they're like
we'll put it in a pancake.
Waffle shape.
Oh, okay. You can smell the shape of the waffles. Okay.
Yes, I can. I swear to you.
I'm now having to go over to YouTube and do the same shit.
Yep. I had to delete
now the upside to that one though is that I can just clip that or cut that VOD because YouTube has the ability to edit. So
I cut my Twitch VOD. I wouldn't say it's a bad idea for you to do as well.
Do what?
I cut my Twitch VOD.
How do you do that?
It's almost 2:30.
I stopped being live for like 10 seconds and then I.
No, I did that too. What were you about to say, Ancom? Were you about to dip on me?
Oh yeah, it's almost 2:30 in the morning
Pussy.
here. I'm exhausted.
Your opinions, pussy.
This is why no one likes you, Gorps.
That's what I was gonna say. We all hate Gorp.
I should have won, honestly. That's all I'm thinking. Is that?
Yeah,
I'm not even upset.
Shout out.
If your mic
I hate to
worked-
leave just as Despy got here, but alas, it's late as shit. So I'll talk to y'all later.
If only
no
Lonzo's
worries.
mic worked 70% more often, he probably would have won. But we're never going to find that out because we don't know what he said.
I really find out how bad that was now.
I really want to know how bad it was. I had the opposite opinion. I thought Lonzo was at his most base when he was cutting out.
Wow.
I think okay. I've
I'll
only
be in
seen
my
Lonzo one
chat.
other time before this, and I think Lonzo did well, minus the fact that we couldn't hear half of his takes.
Yeah, no, and that was definitely rough.
Oh, I was going to tell you, you might want to check
say,
on your
Lonzo,
bit rate to make sure that you have enough upload speed for whatever your upload bit rate is on OBS or whatever you're
I don't
using.
think it's that. Lonzo, I think you have a really high fucking noise gate, or you have a
I was about to say
it's either
the noise gate. Yeah, one of the two.
Wait,
I don't think so because when he was
takes.
clipping it, it was doing the same shit. So that's why I don't think it's actually noise gate.
And
that's coming from the former audio professional.
It's probably my Wi-Fi. Then I don't know why it's bad now. I might get another Ethernet cord.
Okay, I think we should hear why our visitor is here.
Yeah, welcome in. I'm first time in. First, yeah.
Lethe and I have been close friends. Lethe and Ankam and I have been close friends for a long time. We actually run our YouTube channel together, and I'm the video editor for that channel, as well as part of the content. Creation for that channel.
Wait, what's the channel?
It's called FOFA? 5 Old Fogies Are Angry. And we do current events, some religious topics, and some social issues. So I've been in the debate sphere for a long time. I'm old guard, if you want to call it that, and I just haven't been around to be on these panels and whatnot in a long time.
Do you have an argument or something for any of us?
For any of us? I had posted in the chat before. I said the only tactics that work against fascists are Indiana Jones tactics.
That's dope. But I think I'm the only one here. But I think I'm the only one here who truly supports that tactic. So it's kind of a bad argument for.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
All I know is my tactics made to be getting a call from the FBI. So I think that tactic is valid.
My thing is that I'm going to ignore and mock them until they try and do something. So.
Do you think you can mock someone while debating them?
Yes, you can.
Valid, based. That's what I
do. Can you mock somebody from the inside of a prison camp? That's what I want to know. Yes. Like, how effectively do you think you can pull it off?
Well, here's the thing. Can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? Probably not. That's the main thing.
The fastest way to get out of the prison camp. Fastest way to also end up in heaven.
I still haven't gotten an example.
Body bag is a way out.
I still haven't gotten an example from you, Lonzo, because I asked a key question: which person that's not a Democrat or not a progressive has debated a fascist successfully?
Well, that's the issue. First off, Mehdi Hassan, for the time that he did speak to them, if you look at any of the response to his video, was greatly positive in his direction. But also, the other issue is that they don't give them a chance to, like they wouldn't give Bernie Sanders a chance to even go against Trump, because the first line of defense for keeping a leftist from debating a fascist is the liberals. They're the first ones to say, no. We must make sure that everybody thinks you're the bad guy and that they're kind of. That's what they do. That is their job.
Tell me a point when that wasn't the case. Leftists worse than the liberals themselves.
Yes.
So you're just saying that they don't have the steam to be able to even have the opportunity to do so, which is why there are no examples of any of them doing it successfully?
No, I'm saying that they have to fight the liberals before they can ever get a chance to fascist. You don't get to argue with the fascists on the main stage whenever you can never get to the stage because the first opponent is the people who are part of the same part of your position as you, as they like to call. And then all your positions are based off of what people think that those people's positions are, and they never combat them. So now you've been given tagged with the positions that they have. That's why
you can't even defeat that super weak enemy. How are you going to fight that ultimate power boss?
So I feel like Zoran, for example, actually could very well debate Trump. And I don't even like much of Zoran's opinions. That's not where I lie on the political spectrum here. I'm actually probably closer to Trump than I am to Zoran.
I mean, honestly,
I think that Zoran could debate him well.
This is probably low-hanging fruit.
Whereas many Democratic candidates cannot.
So I'm probably going to say some low-hanging fruit, but I think if Hassan tried to debate Nick Fuentes, they'd both be talking about how to eradicate Israel.
And you know what? I think unity is good sometimes.
Would they end up dating? That's the question.
I think that's absolutely untrue. And where'd you get the idea that Hassan eradicate.
Huh?
You broke up.
I think
again,
Hassan
sir.
would be happy with
Your
it.
microphone is against you. You
think
need to
he-
defeat the fascist microphone.
Hassan might not outwardly say he wants to eradicate Israel, but I think he'd be happy with it.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Well,
somebody
I
else
mean,
that's blonde in this chat
wouldn't
that is a
mind.
dude would agree with that.
yeah,
To
okay.
keep it vague.
I disagree with that, but that's all right. I mean,
I have a question. I have a question for Toka, if it's okay.
What's up?
Earlier you said something that caught my attention that we didn't have time to really come back to and dig into. But you effectively, and I am paraphrasing from what I interpreted, but you effectively said you could be convinced to be a fascist.
Oh no, that's not what I was saying. I was saying I could be convinced of a fascist argument, depending on the topic.
You did not
And
say
that's
depending on the
saying-
topic, I will say.
And that's
Well,
saying,
don't
I'm-
act-
and that
I-
wasn't even
don't-
saying
don't-
me really. I was more saying that it's possible that someone could be.
does it,
I don't think
I
does that make
personally-
it-
Wait, hold
I-
on. Because Lonzo is acting super surprised when he answered the question of how do you appeal to the same audience. You said
that's
that
my
you
point.
would, you would use
You're gonna
kind of
effectively make
progressive
yourself
less.
look stupid here. Yes,
like
I was
populist
surprised because
leftism
I'm saying it's a
to
stupid way
reach
to.
out to
Yes, I'm saying
these
she's making a
reactionaries.
stupid point because she just said, "Well, I could." Yeah, of course, because fascist ideas, which I was going to say before you mentioned this, was then it's not because it's a fascist idea, but it's because it's a populist idea, most likely. So yes, thank you. You're right. That is my point.
Okay.
They figured it out.
I
Good
personally
job.
think that if you admit that you could be drawn pretty easily to a fascist idea by, for example, like
Wait, hold on. Because sorry,
I
just
think
one
that's
second.
kind of a
Because Lonzo said that was his point, but that was also Toka's point. Is that like she could be like still have that same alignment? You're just saying the same thing different ways.
what
You're just saying the
was the
same thing different ways.
continuation
I
of
said this
that
earlier.
point?
Wait, I said this earlier. If you can be drawn to that easily, you're retarded.
But that's you're talking about
no.
specifically the fascist ideals, but not the kind of overlapping points of the
Oh.
populism.
And
No,
my
that's not all
point.
fascist.
And my point was that you could easily be drawn towards those issues. So if that's the case, why aren't the people who are in opposition to the fascists supposing those issues in a way that are not fascist? Because you're going to agree on populist ideals. So why wouldn't you offer those in a way that's not towards let's also while along the way why don't we just put a couple Jews in a gas chamber along the way? Instead, let's say, how about while we give you free health care, we just give you the free health care because we have the for that. Maybe we could take it away from the government funding that we're sending overseas to blow up children in Palestine. Is that not a better alternative? That's also a popular idea. Check the poll numbers, and both of the things I just listed are very popular and also things that fascist, or Trump, as you would put it, has said he would do. But I guess I'm wrong because you can do those things. You make that argument for both sides.
A popular.
Oh, no one's saying you're wrong. I'm just pointing out that you're both saying the same thing, just different.
No, we're not saying the same thing.
Yeah, you are. She's saying that
the same thing with less information to it. She's saying that because they can.
I
the
feel
same
like
thing.
you guys are
Exactly.
arguing past each other, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're saying the same thing.
I mean, yeah,
That's why I
same
voted for
thing,
your
but
side, though, Lonzo, is
Yeah.
because I agree with your point.
But you voted for Gorp.
Yeah, because I am God.
Yeah.
Not gonna
You
do
had,
this.
you had a good point or two, and Gorps had several. I just like Gorps better in this debate. And me and Gorps, there's like no love lost between us. We've not exactly got along previously. So
Anyways, Chief, it's
No
it's
one
free tonight.
does.
You don't have to pay the $20 like normal. It's free.
All right. So
Wink.
actually, since everybody else is, I've got a couple of questions or some feedback now that I've dealt with. Hopefully, I fixed the problem. I think first of all, we're no longer a community server, so that should not be an issue. Just in case.
What do you hate about us?
Second of all, I have also, I think, reset the roles thing. So if anybody notices anything disappear or anything, just let me know. I
How do you think we're
apologize.
retarded?
Yeah, why do you think Gorp's retarded?
Okay.
What's happening here?
Well,
Tell-
so
tell us how
first
you
of all,
feel.
no, I'm gonna.
How
So
do you
Ancom,
really feel?
Ancom, your choice to open with basically nothing and then just immediately open yourself to cross-X like that, I thought was really clever. It could have blown up in your face, but it gave you the opportunity to sort of establish or to figure out where your opposition was coming from without giving them any information up front necessarily. Like you were able to guide the conversation through your answers, which I thought was very clever.
Typical
Leafy,
Ancom.
yeah, Leafy. I'm trying to read what I said here.
Leafy is
yeah. Oh,
bald.
the fact that you mentioned about the fact that they don't care about facts. I liked that as a point, in the fact that it's like, well, you can't like logic them, but again, we've already established that the point, and it's funny because Gorps mentioned, and I think somebody else did as well, something that I said before the debate started, and I wish that I wouldn't have said it because I hope that it didn't. I'm sure y'all would have said it without me, but my definition of debate and the fact that debate is for the audience, not for your the person you're talking to.
Yeah,
okay,
that's been a long-standing take of mine.
Long-standing take, and again, this is something I'm very adamant about, and some people disagree with me, but again. That said, they don't have to agree with your facts. The audience needs to hear the facts, which brings me to the criticism that I had for sort of everybody. There was at least 4 times in there that I wrote down, ask for fucking facts. Like, people would either quote a stat or refer to something, and when it was questioned, like, yeah, so you actually questioned the source, but you didn't actually ask, where's your source? Show me your source.
I can link the stats that I mentioned.
And I would have loved to have seen somebody ask you to. I would have loved to see you do that or whatever, or to drop the chat, like into the chat, the links
I
to
can
this
do it right now. I still have it up.
It's not necessary now. The debate's over.
I know,
back to Leafy's point, though, for me, it doesn't matter if fascist cares or acknowledges about facts either, because the prompt isn't about convincing the fascists; it's about legitimizing
their ideologies. Exactly.
Yeah. And if they can
make that was the thing.
If they can make a fallacious emotional appeal, that's going to reach people whether or not the facts are in place. And if the facts are in place, they're going to say, well, I don't feel that this is because of this. I feel whatever this person is saying is reaching me more.
I think the other side even kind of acknowledged it.
I actually, can I say something that's a little bit, it's not really off topic, actually. I was doing research for this, and I was like gathering information, including like the shit that I said about the percentage of people that are willing to allow a military takeover of the country, which I found astonishing when I found the facts of it. It's crazy. It's like 25 to 30% of the population. Anyways, what I also found, I just completely lost my train of thought. Holy shit!
It happens.
Give me a topic. That was just mentioned.
And you need to lay off the weed.
Topics, Gorp's bad.
My bad.
You were saying that a large percent of the population would take over the country.
No. A large percent is okay with that. I was trying to tie it back to something.
And he said,
but either way,
that bacon waffle smell is too strong.
It is. It actually. I'm not even gonna lie. It is flooding my fucking apartment right now. My window is open, and I can't close it because my cat is sitting in the window right next to me.
You should go sit by the window and talk loudly about how good it smells, and maybe they'll just bring you a plate.
That's exactly the move.
That's actually a good idea. We're organizing a potluck.
You
I'm
won't move the cat?
community organizing. Anyways, I forgot where I was.
The cat should just move.
I could.
You can't do that. That's fascism.
True.
What'd you say, Game Boy?
I could probably also make a point that I think it's fair to say that a fascist may not care about the logic and only point to emotion or their position to the audience or whatever, but that's just good rhetoric. I mean, you could say that about any debate group, and I think I made that clear. If I tried to mold the difference between, okay, you got an extremist group or you have whatever group, like I tried to get Ancom on this, but it kind of devolved when we got to Trump of like, he was making this line of this is where I start, this is where I go, this is where I'm going to be. But the majority of our concerns with debating fascist happen with any group. So it's whether you debate or whether you don't. And I would say that, like, I often think people who win debates against me are just pulling at their emotions, or they're not thinking logically. But that's just my perspective, and it's kind of egotistical to think so. So, I mean, that's just my kind of worldview, is you have to know where to draw the line, because at the end of the day, we're all kind of coming at this from certain emotions.
So that actually kind of rubs up against one of the other points I wanted to make, which was that the validity of don't do it if you're not prepared to. So I think that that was a super strong point that needed to be honed in on. And I feel like we need to really focus on the idea that if you are skilled enough to debate the person, then you should absolutely be there opposing those beliefs publicly. But if you are not capable of presenting a strong argument against their rhetoric, I feel like then there is some legitimization that happens, because when y'all brought up the Nick Fuentes thing, you actually kind of persuaded me there on the AF. You guys actually kind of got me a little bit, because I was like, fuck, I guess that because he was.
Wait, how so? Because Game Boy argued that directly after appearances and debates that he had lost viewership, right? So he had lost viewership. Just because he overall ended up gaining viewership doesn't mean that
he can lose kick viewership, but more people know his name.
He was talking about against
his name.
He said when he debated Destiny, he just like lost viewership. So more people know his name, but if he lost viewership because his ideas were thing, you can't point to the overall. You can't point to his own
Destiny.
Correct.
He's doing more media. Hold on,
he's doing.
Let me finish. He's doing more media than just debates, obviously. So how could you possibly tie all of his media success strictly to the debates? That makes no sense when the debates directly correlate to that loss in viewership.
Makes no sense. His name out there, more people knew his name.
Everybody
with Kanye.
I think everybody on my side here
then,
also said if you're equipped for the debate. I think we all maybe not one of us, but I think we all acknowledge that if you're bad at debating, don't fucking debate
yes.
it.
Well,
that's why I said.
And also Fuentes in general, like Chief, you acknowledge like when he linked up with Kanye, that kind of elevates him. That like he wouldn't have linked up with Kanye.
Yeah, but that wasn't
ideas weren't legitimized.
That wasn't because of like debate. It was because he got linked up with
his
Kanye.
Ideas were legitimized after he was debating.
Yeah, but Kanye,
like he got legitimized.
But
real quick, I'm sorry. I want to interject because I want to clarify a thing before we keep talking about it. Who was it? It was you, Game Boy, who made the claim that he lost some sort of something based on something. I thought that you had said. Followers. I thought that you had said that it was because he was willing to debate with Destiny, not because of the exposure that his debate with Destiny gave him. Which one was it? What caused him to lose viewership, according to you?
The exposure that Nick Fuentes got pointed out the laws in his growing viewership. Nick Fuentes was growing, got on Destiny, and lost momentum. He still was growing, so he got further connections, but the Destiny debate hurt his momentum.
Because of what he had to say, and it scared people off or changed people away from him, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, then I misunderstood what you were saying. I'm sorry. Then I stand corrected. Please continue, Chief. You were absolutely right. That was what he was saying. I thought that he was saying that the exposure, the fact that he was willing to debate with a liberal like Destiny was why he lost the following from the far right. But if it was he lost people from the far right because he was far right, is what you're saying?
He
reason
he lost membership was because The reason he lost followers was because Destiny made clear to everyone and openly mocked Nick Fuentes for the fact that he was Mexican. Nick Fuentes only recently was able to spin it.
Thank you.
Destiny also, when he met up in person, called Nick Fuentes gay multiple times.
Real quick. Yep. Okay, so hold on. Let me jump in there because now you reminded me. Thank you. First of all, so again, debating him, it wasn't that they exposed his beliefs or his positions,
was part
and
of
that
it.
lost him. You just said that it was they exposed his ethnicity, and it lost him cred with the
that
with
was
the
the
far
biggest
right.
part, yes.
Okay, so I feel like it's that, not to mention the gay interaction that he had with Destiny. Allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, if it was proven, if it's been, but I feel like maybe that
And that
might
didn't
have
come out
had
till way
more.
later anyway.
But either
No,
way,
I'm
that might have
talking
had
about
more of an
his-
effect on his following from the far right than the fact that he is a fascist. So putting him on this platform and exposing his fascist beliefs was not what lost him any sort of credibility or any sort of
that
public
was
zeitgeist.
part of it. That was
Well, the far
you
right
just brought up
nationalist is
specifically.
a multi-ethnic movement anymore. It's not just like white. It's not just like
Now it
hood-wearing
is, but
KKK
Proud
people. You
Boys
know
are
what I
led
mean?
by Hispanic.
Exactly. Look at Enrique Iglesias. What's
Well,
his name?
Right.
But I
So
would
it's
like
more
to
just like the
focus-
inherent
If there's a
contradiction.
nigga in the
within
far right,
I would like
if
to
there's a
also
nigga in the
point
far-
out that you said far right, like people, the far right was leaving him because he was far. Sorry, the
I
reason
felt like
he
that's
was,
what the fascists are, was far right. Am I wrong?
No,
Yep.
but my point was saying you said specifically, why did the far right leave Nick Fuentes? I said because of his ethnicity. That's not why the majority of the people stopped giving him credence. The majority of the people said, okay, we saw Destiny openly have 2-3 streams in 2019 specifically dedicated to disproving Nick Fuentes, and in 2021 in person he pointed out the hypocrisy of Nick Fuentes, and he lost credibility thus far, even after being displatformed. It's only recently in 2024 and 2025 where he's ever come back to that level, and that's mainly because of his previous connections that he had before the Destiny debate, including Milo. Like, I forgot who said it. I think it was Leafy.
It was me.
But Milo was a big component in him continuing to be bolstered, and his initial, even though he had a falling out, him being with Richard Spencer just before Richard Spencer left the alt-right movement, led perfect transferring from the alt-right movement to the American First program before Nick Fuentes started supporting Joe Biden. I
Okay.
mean, before Richard
So-
Spencer.
So I would like to actually ask, and this is to everybody, because first of all, does anybody dispute what Game Boy just said as representing the idea that exposure or that sunlight is anesthetic, or what's the basically exposing these ideas to the public zeitgeist shows or educates many of us to understand why these ideas are terrible, as opposed to letting us just be persuaded privately.
It's certainly not
The only thing,
best example.
the only thing that I would say that would push back against that a little bit is that Nick Fuentes is becoming more popular right now because he's taking an anti-Trump stance, and because of his
I agree,
anti-Trump
yeah.
stance, he's basically pulling people in there disaffected Trump voters that are basically getting screwed by the current Trump policies.
I
So
agree.
Well, that's just saying
he's-
like anyone with enough viewership could
Yeah.
just latch onto any popular idea and gain more viewership, which is just, anyone's going to do that. So that's not really fascist exclusive.
But
I
think
have like a
there's also-
secondary a secondary topic here, and we can come back to this later. That's fine. But I just want to point it out that addressing these people, fascists, in this conversation, but basically extremists in any conversation, addressing these people and acknowledging they exist and having conversations with them make them statistically less likely to commit violence on the basis of their beliefs. More often than not, what we're talking about in that case is hate crimes. This is another big driver that I don't feel like had a point in this debate, but I just want to mention in the aftermath.
Nope.
I think it's a good thing.
This is
Conversate with them for that.
This is a very valid point that and again, I think of it as mold or rot. I don't want the rot to be in the walls where I don't know the damage it's doing. I would rather have the rot out in public and in the daylight where I can see it, so that I can deal with it, so I can fix it. And or again, if you relegate these conversations to smoky basements, they're not going to have like good outcomes. Whereas if you let these people feel heard and explain to them nicely, because here's one of the things, right? Like, and I'm just putting this out there, and I've been persuaded somewhat against my original beliefs. When I first started streaming, I came into this with the naive, doe-eyed thought that if you just explain it to somebody well enough, they just don't understand. Like, as soon as you explain it in terms that they can relate to or they can understand, they'll suddenly see the error of their ways and they'll change their minds. I have come to understand earlier hate raid notwithstanding, that this is not true. This is naive and this is dumb and I'm stupid for it. I'm still going to keep trying to persuade the people. But here's the key. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, right? I know I'm sounding like a Southern grandma now, but it's the truth. If you shit on people and you insult people and you lob insults at people and you fuck with people, like, they're not going to change their minds to, like, I saw this with our own resident MAGA person, where I tried my best to guide this person when I get to the light, to help them see the error of their ways. I eventually gave up, and then I stepped back and I watched as everybody just insulted this person instead. That person then withdrew and is no longer part of the community, and as such, that person is definitely not going to get fixed. So how you engage with a fascist is critical. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, and they're probably somewhere else in an echo chamber.
Exactly. Only getting fed there. Exactly.
So, something we found out when a lot of the more extreme people on the bigger platforms moved over to the other platforms like Truth Social, yada yada yada. They didn't like being in their They didn't like being in their echo chamber. They wanted to come and scream at us. So they came back in droves just so they could scream at us. Like, they don't want to be on their own. They don't want to be in an echo chamber. That's kind of on them. They need to.
Yeah, they're looking for the fence sitters. But that's why, if the fence sitters are only getting side of things, then, yikes.
I don't think they're looking for the fence sitters. They're looking to yell at the people that are on the opposition, and all they want to do is yell and scream at them and make them look stupid.
Oh, so then there's no danger to debating fascism.
They're the people that are not gonna change their mind no matter what. They're the people that are coming in to antagonize you to make you look stupid.
Yep.
Right. But those aren't like a very good portion of these viewers are never doing that. It is the extremes of these viewers that are doing that.
Yep.
That's there's a very big distinction between these two groups.
I have definitely seen both. I have seen people who were coming in just to yell at me because they think I'm some far left lib, right? They think I'm a socialist commie, yeah, et cetera, et cetera. But then I've also seen the people who come in here because I look like a gas station employee, and as such, they think that, oh, he's one of us. I'm gonna get him. He sure talks real pretty. So again, I've seen both sides. I've seen both of them exist. And
I usually wear full Western wear when I go and debate. And I ain't no liberal, I ain't no conservative, I ain't no progressive, and I ain't no lefty. But I do argue from different positions on all those sides, and I get led into places thinking that I am some far right conservative.
It's a good thing. I never get mistaken for a far right conservative.
Dude, I literally started doing that's why the Grumpy Bear costume thing, like, it's actually a real thing. Like, I started streaming as a Grumpy Bear costume because I was like, fuck you. Does this make it look less like I'm a fucking Trump voter?
Why'd you stop?
But I'm just trying to figure out why nobody's mistaking me for conservative yet. I just feel like I give off.
Yeah, actually, somebody did earlier. They said they said your headphones look like a fascist's headphones. I think that was said in chat.
Well,
I'll give them
Gorp
that.
espouses fascism from his blood.
So I would like to ask what y'all mean by this word now. This is I don't feel like we did this well enough, and because several times
fascist.
Several times I've heard the word fascist change meanings in this conversation tonight.
Before we get into this, I actually got to tap out, guys. But thank you so much for having me.
Nope, no worries. Pleasure having you. Welcome back. Yep. Have a great night.
Been a blast. Thanks.
Take care.
So what?
Wait, Radish.
Oh yes, sir.
I have a counter question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because this was defined at a certain point I think, two certain points in this conversation.
Yeah.
I myself, and I cannot speak for anybody else, I accepted that definition. I moved with that definition.
Yes.
Me
Where
too.
do you think this definition was changed?
Okay,
Or
so
like-
I happily, 100%. So because I actually looked up the Oxford definition,
Wait, roll up for the one that we accepted. But okay.
Nope. Well, and it was basically the one that y'all did, which I didn't write down the exact wording that you guys used, but it was close enough to this that it was acceptable. System of government marked by centralization of authority under a dictator, a capitalist economy subject to stringent governmental controls, violent suppression of the opposition, and typically a policy of belligerent nationalism and racism. That was actually not the one. Never mind. That's not the one that you guys gave.
I can give you
vital
my
part.
notes.
Yeah, give
for the
it to
definition
me
that was
again.
given
Give it
us.
to me again.
Hold on, I gotta.
And the where it changed for the record was there were several times where people were using the word fascism in place of authoritarianism, like that they were necessarily like that.
Okay,
that
wait, no, I would
anything
agree with you.
authoritarian
That's from the
was
other side,
fascist.
That's
Right.
from the other
Yeah.
side, though.
Well, that
Yeah, okay, I
again,
get
like
you.
I said, throughout the course of the conversation, the definition of the word fascism changed a little bit, and then it was really kind of driven home there at the end. And I felt like I really wanted to pick at that a little bit more. So I'm
Wait, is
asking.
fascism not inherently authoritarian?
Yeah, but authoritarian
is-
is not inherently fascist.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
yeah.
and that's
I get
exactly
that.
That's the point
it,
he was
Lonzo.
making.
Several people were
That
using
was the
as
point I made
though
earlier.
fascism was all authoritarianism. They were just using that as a pronoun for authoritarianism. So
you don't want to
And
mistake the fascist
Kai-
pronouns.
Kai, I think, is the only one that can like kind of defend that because it was his side that was doing this. I think.
but he
But
was
I don't
also the
think
first
he-
person to define the fucking terms. So.
I don't think he was doing this, so I don't know how. Kai, do you have a defense?
I mean, I stuck to it. I can't really speak for Toka per se.
I
think
could
Ancom,
probably provide a defense.
Ancom, no.
I think
That's what
Ancom
we
was,
argued about.
Ancom was kind of getting led into traps where he was generalizing what was in his mind more than likely already understood. You can't have this without that. And he wasn't trying to conflate the two, but without elaborating on that, it could be understood as you are conflating two different ideas.
I think fascism's also like just culturally dependent. Like it's a nationalist belief inherently. So it's impossible to say what American fascism is. And so whenever you're like trying to describe it, you can't like rely on like German beliefs or Italian beliefs or Japanese fascism because they're all relative to their culture. But that's just like my surface level defense. I don't think it's fair to say Donald Trump's a fascist, but I think you could say, oh, he's fascist adjacent or something like that, which is just subjective because it's not, that itself doesn't have a definition either.
I honestly think that we just go to extremes in most cases when we have discussions like this. People know half of the definition. They don't know, or they don't recognize the full definition. They just think if it meets half of the definition, it's good enough to call it that instead. It's the same reason why people call like the Democrats communists. They may have social policy that they want to enact, but they are not communists. It's the same thing, I think, with using fascism. There may be fascistic aspects to what they want to implement, but that doesn't mean the entire platform is fascist at the same time, or their entire mindset is fascist at the same time.
But you can definitely say that you can see far more equivalent fascism but the Democratic Party and communism easily.
Do we want to hear your words so bad,
One
man?
more time. Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again.
I don't want
The
to
fascists
now.
are in your mic.
I want to bring out my right wing right now.
I want to believe you.
Only that is on my side makes me want to bring out my right
I was
wing.
making the point that the Republican Party is far closer to. Now I forgot my wording, but Republicans.
You know who Thomas
come-
Massey is?
No.
Praise him and
My goat.
drop down and suck his dick. I swear to God.
That's not in my no.
Responsibility for a good future of America.
Just
I
not one of the
stand
things
by
I
that
do,
shit.
but
We
I'll
love
figure out who
Thomas
he
Massey.
is.
He's a Republican, but he's a libertarian, as I am.
I don't want a libertarian leader.
I would.
Well, then you're incorrect.
The main difference is, and why this looks different, is because those that are on the far right want to figure out ways to exclude people, where people on the far left want more ways to include people. And this exclusion versus inclusion makes one side look better than the other.
I don't know if I saw that
would
because
say-
when Ancom was arguing about, arguing the subject earlier, he was saying that people who would watch this material are essentially like they already believe it. So then I would have liked to have asked Ancom if he would have stayed. Does that mean everyone who sees it is already a lost cause? In which case, does the platforming that person really matter? If whoever watched it already believes it,
Personally,
it seems like
I don't
weird.
think it does matter. I don't think it does matter at all, because most people, when they bring their audiences in, both audiences already have made up their mind and have decided whoever they're viewing is the winner, regardless of what happens during the debate, because their echo chamber has already decided for them who has won the debate.
I think that,
or is it also
I just want to address the viewership part of this. X person brings in their viewership. Y person brings in their viewership. Sure, most of those people are probably decided. But then you have double the viewership of what either individual has. And then with that brings in a bunch of new people that are like, oh, what is this big stream that's happening? What is this big video that is blowing up? What is all these things? You're bringing in all these new people, and those are your target. It's
and
never
so you're
Centric.
exposing their ideas, but you're getting exposed to theirs as well. That's exactly.
Yeah,
you also run into an issue. You run into an issue with that because you, the person who's actually doing the debate, are the person that is trying to get views to this new viewer, right? But the people in your chat are grooming them in their own community.
Everybody's grooming everybody in that sense. At the end of the day, if you're bad at debating, don't fucking debate a fascist. That's it. If you're new at debating, don't debate a fucking fascist. That's
how many
it.
people do you
But if
see?
you're even halfway decent at debating, debate a goddamn fascist and make them look like a retard.
Fascists are pretty good at grooming.
How many people do you
They
see going to debates with people like Andrew Wilson or other people of that sort, thinking they're going to demolish this person? They're doing nothing but asking dumb questions and
Those
get
people
wrecked
deny
and made
debates
look
with people
stupid.
that would actually wreck them. There's accounts of creators that are like, hey, I tried to do this and they said no. They say no.
I just feel like
if you're retarded, don't go into the debate.
So
That's
with
it.
that being the case, anybody that would be capable of winning in this debate is not going to be allowed into the debate in the first place. And so in the end, you're
They
just
should be allowed to try.
contributing
They should be allowed
to
to try.
more fascist seeds being grown within shared communities.
How are they
Wait, so what-
contributing? The people that are equipped to debate, how are they contributing to this?
No, he's saying only in the rare instance that the fascist is smart enough to be able to pick the people he's curating,
fascist
the
will
people
never
he's
be
debating against.
The fact
Because you said they're being kept from.
it's actually if they're
debating
dumb
them.
enough to accept the debate. Realistically, that's the framework we're working in.
Better question is, what do you do then if the person who is a fascist is never an option? So what does the person who isn't equipped does, even if they don't debate them? They just let them take over, because that seemed to happen every other time.
And I just
do you think? Go ahead.
real quick, I'm sorry, because I want to argue with myself now. Because listening to you guys, I actually just realized that what I said earlier is not right. And where I was saying, or I was agreeing with Gorps, that yes, I might be giving this fascist exposure to my audience, and I suppose there is a risk that it's going to persuade them away from my ideology. But I'm also I'm getting to introduce my ideology to the fascists' audience in this case, because the fascist audience is going to be there listening as well. And so to me, that risk balances out. But here's the problem, and I think this is true. If I allow people into the Everyday Stoners server, I allow people to come in and give their sides, right? I know for a fact that there are absolutely people that I am ideologically opposed to on a fundamental basis in my server. But as long as they don't say anything that's not TOS, I'm willing to engage with you. I'm willing to have a conversation with you, hoping that maybe I can show you the error of your ways, and being exposed to me. I love it, Chief. Being exposed to me and my community will help you to see things in a better way.
I just expose myself to your community.
I give them that bandwidth in my community, but I realize they probably would not give me that bandwidth in theirs. If I joined theirs as a strong debater, as a strong interlocutor, as a person who's going to go in there and try to persuade them away from their bad ideas, I'm probably going to get banned immediately. Now, I'm opening the door to a group who won't let me in their door. I do start to see an imbalance here, and I do start to see that maybe the risk is not worth the reward. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I monologued enough.
There is an imbalance. There is. I get that, and I acknowledge that, and that's fucking fucked up on the fascist side of the aisle, right?
You just still think it's worth it.
Fascists do tend to be kind of fucked up, huh?
They do be.
The reason I am so hard on this position is because I've seen it happen. I've seen people change their minds from it. I'm not a fucking big streamer or big fucking content creator in any way, shape, or form. However, I have debated other people of larger size than I that I would consider to be at least borderline fascists, if not complete fascists. And I have gotten their viewers. I have gotten my viewers that I know were on the edge. I have gotten all of these groups to go, yeah, no, that bitch is retarded. That idea is retarded. This is possible if you rely on the evidence of retarded debaters or fucking Democrats as your debaters. Yes, of course, it will always be a losing battle, but that's not what it has to be.
So I'm not.
Not even the fucking right side of the aisle needs to capitulate to fucking fascism. Goddamn.
I'm not particularly.
It's so simple.
I'm not particularly proud of this, but I see it happen pretty often. It's even happened in my own community, where you go into these spaces, and then I would go on right-wing shows and things like that, and some of these people would end up coming into my community, and then they say the things that they say in the communities they were already in, and my community or the other community they go into after somebody that's more like me gets them to come in there, gets ripped apart by the community itself. And so
I may be part of that problem, just so you
know. How do you all feel about Daryl Davis?
Who is Daryl? Oh, I love Daryl Davis.
So does anybody not like what Daryl Davis does?
Love Daryl Davis. The man is a goat. The man should be he's a national treasure and should be venerated. I think
Daryl Davis is the guy who goes and talks to
Nobel Peace
KKK members and like converts them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
I would never say don't talk to them, just don't platform them. Don't give them air to spread their views.
You could dissuade them from their ideas within the context of that conversation.
Question. Oh, the black.
Hold on, let me
hold on. Let Chief engage with this. Hang on.
I just asked, do you think that it would be like beneficial then, or good for what Daryl Davis does, that he dissuades those people in the conversations that he has with them? That's a good thing?
I think it's great. I just don't think if Daryl Davis was
so basically
somebody calls you a boomer.
Okay, so if we're solely talking about debate in the context of a large stream with a large audience, then I guess maybe your point would stand better. But I feel like what Daryl Davis is doing is kind of just the same thing with like less people watching.
Okay, so real quick, may I engage real quick with this? Yeah, no, so because I am a fan of Daryl Davis, and I'll punt it to whoever wants it next. But the difference there is that Daryl Davis is not doing that on a stream. Daryl Davis does not actually try to specifically, because I've listened.
Didn't they make a documentary about it though?
Yes, I've listened to him talk a lot. He did not go to people and say, "This is why you're wrong." He literally just existed in their space, and they looked at him and said, "Fuck, I was wrong." So the difference is that Daryl Davis didn't say, "Come with me, Mr. Grand Ku Klux magic guy with the hat. Come to this show with me,
So
and
you
let's
think
discuss your idea." Hold on, let me finish. Let's discuss your ideas, and then I'll discuss my ideas, and let them decide which one's right.
No. So
He
you
just
think
lived his life.
it was they solely just existed side by side and never over the course of their relationship they never had a difficult conversation.
Correct. Literally the way that it happened. And again,
Okay.
this is no. Hold on, because I've listened to several Daryl Davis. I'm a big fan of his, but his approach was not what we do. He again, because I'm
not talking about his overall approach, dude. I'm not talking about his overall approach. I'm talking about in the course of their relationship. You're saying they never would have had a difficult
literally,
conversation.
the guy came to him. He did not ask him to change. Daryl
So
Davis
you
did not
believe
have
when
a tough-
Republicans
Hold
say
on.
don't talk about race to end race, you feel like that's a good thing?
No. I don't agree with that. I'm saying that Daryl Davis's approach specifically cannot be used as a defense in this context, because Daryl Davis literally was just playing. He was a blues guitarist in a bar, and a dude came up to him after one of his shows. Like, this guy kept showing up in his shows, and this guy came up to him afterwards one time and said, "Hey, you're really, really good at this," and made I'm not gonna say the racist thing, but I didn't know people like you could play this well.
You're pretty
and
good
Daryl
for it.
Davis literally was like, "Dude, people like me invented this kind of music. Are you being serious?" Like, and the guy's like, I had no idea. And that was the end of the conversation. Then the next, because he did this every week, like a week later, he saw that guy with another guy in the audience, and he's just playing. Afterwards, guy bought him a drink. That was it. There was no further conversation. After several interactions, literally just like that, the first guy came in, like he would bring more and more of people of his groups. And then several of them came in and gave him their fucking robes and said, "Look, man, I thought a lot of things, and just what I have seen from you has shown me what I thought was wrong." So, and he talks about the fact he has apparently received something like 200, 300 sets of robes from people who he didn't ask for a fucking one of them. He goes around them, and they're like, and he started showing up because they invited him to their rallies. They were like, "Hey, would you come to this rally and just hang out with us?" And literally, the fact that he demonstrated the fact that he wasn't what these people thought he was made so many of them question what they thought that he was, that he didn't have to persuade them. That's the only thing I'm saying. I love the man. I think he should be, again, Nobel Peace Prize, but he did not try to debate them publicly to change their minds.
I didn't say anything about public debate. I just said, like, everything.
He didn't even debate them. Yes.
Okay. I posted a couple links about him talking about the importance of having those difficult conversations, but we can move on from that point.
No. Where did you put it? In the chat?
I put it in Discord and in our.
Yep.
I have just a very quick question. What do you guys think about the series Love Thy Neighbor, if you've seen it?
I've never heard of it.
I love the Bible.
What the fuck, guys?
Can I say that when it comes,
it's a docu-series going into like largely like kind of extremist groups. They've done Black Hebrew Israelites. They've done the KKK. They do groups like this, and they go in and they don't fucking push back at all. But they go in and they just document what is happening. They basically infiltrate. Do you think that's a good thing to do or no?
Sounds
it's
funny,
a dangerous thing to do.
It sounds like good comedy.
Considering the lead is a fucking black guy. It's been dangerous in the KKK, but
so we're gonna go round us up some folks, right? Just as a black man. Sounds kind of dangerous.
I appreciate the filter that I heard. I heard the filter as it dropped in. I thank you very much, Lonzo. Good.
I got to tell you, I've been using Twitch. I mean, since I've been on Twitch, I have realized that some of as you know, I've read a good amount of Malcolm X writings, and there's a lot of things that I have to always leave out certain words that I want to call people because I'm like, you house person, and I'm like, I can't say it because it's like, you know, even though I'm black, I'll get banned on Twitter. But
so funny enough, somebody got muted in chat earlier, and I appreciate you, Rook, if you're still out there listening. I'm sure you've probably gone to bed by now, but yeah, somebody had made a comment because this is a thing, and I'm gonna have to deal with this because I know who this person is, and I think it was you, Gorps, who was like, "Why? Who muted him?" Well, it's because he had made a racial. He had made a statement.
Anti-free speech.
Hold on. I'm TOS. I am TOS regulated. And he made a racial slur or a statement about a group based on their race. Now, he claimed that because he was part of that race, that exonerates him. But I am saying that you are still making a racist statement on Twitch, and that's TOS. Sorry, I have to do something about that.
I consider
just what group?
Take a guess.
What?
Hispanics.
He was saying that his racial
Amish.
group, he was illiterate because of his racial group.
Oh, Amish. Okay, I was right.
And so, yeah, sure. And so he was illiterate because of his racial group. And the fact is that he's saying that group is inherently illiterate, and therefore, I don't care if you're part of that group. No, can't say that. Sorry. So again, we're just saying that's an example of how it's like, yeah, I'm Polish. I'm not going to make Polish jokes. Like that's
the Amish aren't illiterate. They go to school until 8th grade, and then they.
You can't talk about screen doors on submarines.
My headphones unplugged for most of that, but I will say my wife is Polish, and I make Polish jokes.
That was
That's all I heard.
all right. Since we're doing it. My best friend actually does make a lot of racial comments about my ethnicity, and his favorite name for me is Rake Fighter. I'm not going to put any context beyond that. He also oftentimes he often refers to me as the Polish cavalry. So anyhow, yeah.
Can I respond?
Bear cavalry or just cavalry?
He just calls me the Polish cavalry, sir.
Just making sure.
So yes, if you ever want to flip my switch, sir.
What's up, Gameboy?
Call me a Rake Fighter. What's up,
Gameboy? The distinction I was going to make at the beginning of the debate, and I was going to use this kind of joke about me and Gorp got in a fight over Booker T versus Hulk Hogan, and I said he sided with the racist and how terrible that was. And I was just going to say that was totally fine because it was in the privacy of his walls. And how the issue with the prompt is platforming Nazis, not debating them. And I think that applies more appropriately to, hey,
stupid game.
I'm just a blues.
If you believe the debate is a public performance, though, that's the point. Debate is specifically performative.
Well, you're retarded, Game Boy. Shut the fuck up.
You're wrong. Yeah, that's okay.
What I mean,
like what?
Is it a
Gorps, leave Game Boy alone, damn it.
I feel like Game Boy is actually onto something because that's pretty much what the app side was constantly arguing was about the exposure and the platforming rather than like debating is talking about the act of engaging in the debate and not like necessarily like an associated platform. I feel like there wasn't enough tying that together.
I didn't get around to it because I was pressed for time and it never got brought up. But debate itself, and I had to look it up, is just a competitive two people side. It doesn't have to be platformed or performative.
Hold on. If it's competitive, it means that there is some sort of a judge or group of judges.
But did it say competitive debate in the
And also in the modern
I don't think it did.
In the modern
again,
sense,
debate is inherently considered to be competitive.
You don't
that's fine. It doesn't have
competitive doesn't mean it's on a platform or it has an
That's the key. Yeah, the key is whether it's platformed or...
Well, that was left out of the prompt. I felt like that wasn't met. Colloquially, people are thinking about us sitting in a forum.
It has a set of rules.
Yes,
that both players abide
structure.
by.
And judges to decide.
But it doesn't have
wins.
Doesn't need a judge, and it doesn't need an audience for
debate. Doesn't
chess.
need a judge.
Oh,
You're too likely
say
to
that again. I'm
debate
sorry.
brain
I'm
to
sorry.
think about how people use it colloquially.
No. You got me here. Hold on. You're talking about chess because I do oftentimes think of debate as either chess or jujitsu. But again, you don't necessarily need to have a judge to decide the winner in that case. Let me ask you though, if it's competitive, you have to have some sort of a winner or loser, correct?
Right, but that requires
So you
both
believe
people
that-
to be good actors.
But what I was about to say, sure,
No,
of
it does
course,
not.
we're talking. Well, no. He's saying for two people to be good faith, then they can decide amongst themselves who wins. Is that what you're saying?
That's a
Yes.
crazy way to
Yeah.
debate.
I don't
Well,
think
I think
they
you
do that
actually
either in
debated
that
pretty
sense.
well. I think I did pretty bad.
When was here's my main
There needs
thing.
to be
When
no
you actually
decision.
debate with people and you debate with people in good faith, how often have you ever conceded that you were wrong?
All the time. Happens on an almost daily
Right.
basis.
Unless
Right,
it's with
but
Chief.
there's a lot of people,
Well, hold
especially
on.
in this debate.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me answer more specifically. I'm sorry to walk
Cut his
across you,
mic for a
but
second.
I'll give it right back
It's
to
your
you.
platform. It's your place. I'm being quiet.
I'm not a dick. So that you understand my position, there's debates, there's arguments, and there's conversations. A debate is performative. I am arguing against you on a point I may not even hold. I am simply doing this as a demonstration of the points, and I am doing that in front of some sort of party who decides who wins.
I think that's a
judge,
niche,
an
some
audience,
niche nerd shit, not normie definition.
Probably. But to me, a conversation is any time that we're going to engage in good faith and be willing to be persuaded, be open to the other side's perspectives, and the possibility that we're wrong and they're right. An argument is just for you. It's just for you to say the thing you think. You're not going to change their mind. You don't care if you change their mind. You're just telling them what you fucking think. That's an argument, right? So again, each one of those has a specific purpose, and I'll tie a bow on it. So to me, the debate aspect, right? I will, if I'm debating you, if we have an actual timer going and we've got judges in the audience, I'm going to act as though everything you say is wrong, and I'm going to pick it apart, but I'm going to do so politely because that's just my approach. As soon as we're done, I'm going to say, this is where you fucking got me. I didn't know what I was going to say about this. Dude, that was a great, like, I'll be able to engage, and then I'll say, this is what I actually believe.
But here's the thing, Horse. Those definitions are all perfectly fine.
You guys are all coping.
No, those definitions are all perfectly fine. It's just that if you don't introduce that at the beginning, everyone's going to say debate is how people colloquially use debate, which is essentially an argument as you define. So if you're expecting everyone to adhere to those predetermined definitions that you have in your mind, or expecting to squeeze a particular juice out of it, we might have to be really way more direct with the definitions being used in the prompt.
There wasn't one given. So I'm sorry, back to you. So that was actually
what I was going to say was I've actually done that. I've actually selected certain people to say, I need to debate this topic. I need to debate this section of this topic. And I'm this AF. I need someone to do this neg. And then I want you to basically fight me on this like this. We're going to do this in good faith and whatnot. And we'll discuss it at the very end. I've done that on multiple occasions. That's what I was talking about, where debate doesn't necessarily have to have a judge, an audience, or anything else. It can just be two people.
See. I got you. Okay, okay. Now, for what it's worth, to me, that's debate prep, what you just described. That's what and we're splitting hairs, we're being pedantic, which is what debate is. But to me, that's debate prep. That's not a debate, because it's not a debate. You were getting ready, or you were preparing your ideas or organizing your thoughts on a debate, perhaps. I'm sorry, Gorps. Yeah, go ahead, Gorps.
You guys are all fucking coping. You're all fucking coping.
And Lonzo's getting ready for the boat.
I don't know. I can't hear y'all guys.
You guys talked for a while. You guys talked for a while, so I'm a little late to it. None of you, if you were in a debate with another singular individual on a public platform, I don't care about privately. That doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares about privately. I'm gonna be real with you. Nobody gives a fuck. On a public platform, none of you are conceding that you lost unless you performed horribly, disastrously. I think you guys are all coping.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying that I'm never going to concede that I was out debated in a situation. If
on
I
a pure debate platform, like on your topic, right? So let's I'll give like a very brief example. I think you should debate fascists.
Okay.
Somebody says, "Oh, well, they might get some notoriety from it."
Okay.
Maybe I'll concede that point. I'm not conceding the entirety of the point of the debate. And I don't actually think any of you are. If any of you are, it's gonna be Radish. That's still slightly a stretch. But I don't think any of you guys are fully conceding your point on a one-on-one debate. I think you are having to say you win or you lose, and you're either going to cry about it or feel super proud of yourself about it.
If me and Game Boy blow up at each other and chat back and forth and walk away not having decided a winner, have we not debated even if we've laid out very clear articulations of our argument?
It's an argument, really.
I'm not saying you have debated. I'm just saying you're not going to.
Aren't the arguments within the greater debate? Aren't the arguments elements of the debate? I think it is a
conversation.
Didn't we say earlier? Didn't Horseradish say earlier that that he distinguishes between a debate and an argument or whatever? It's not a private debate, just an argument. The point of a debate is to change the people who are listening opinion in your favor. If you're only arguing between you and another person in private, then how the hell is that a debate if there's nobody opinions to change except for the person you're talking to? That's just just an argument. And I would never concede an argument either, nor would I, especially against the fascist. I believe I'm right to the moment I'm dead.
So here's the thing.
As a fascist,
I might not necessarily hold on. I might not necessarily there. This is the other difference, right? Because I can concede a winner regardless of my position on the point. If I might still think I'm a better jiu-jitsu fighter, but if you got me to tap, well, you beat me, and this is where you got me, and I can acknowledge, ooh, you got me there, and I didn't have a move to counter that. Huzzah. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you changed my position. I might have held your fucking position in the first place. Me debating does not require me to hold that position. I am giving you the best argument for that case that I can. And again, this is the reason that Chief asked for the Steelman position from the opposition like he did, is because, and why Game Boy brought home the torch in my book, was because he could demonstrate that I fully understood every point you made. I can engage with those points. I can acknowledge the validity of what they are, regardless of me being in this debate. That is important to me. And as I said, the reason I like debate is because it helps me see. I go back and forth in my mind on shit all the time. I have these arguments in my head. I will say a thing and then I'll say, well, you're dumb because of this. And then I'll say, well, yeah, well, fuck you because of this. And I will do this back and forth. I like having y'all's voices in my head sometimes instead. That makes me feel more mentally healthy. That said, I'm always looking for arguments that I can't debunk. If there's something that holds water, I've got to be like, fuck, I don't like this play, but this is the thing. Please. So I will offer that argument to the next person I'm arguing with or debating with and say, Hadeh. And I hope you knock that down because I don't like that position, but I have to debate that position. And this is the one that I can't find an argument against. So what you got?
I did offer to debate on the...
I think that you're the exception to the rule. Radish.
I did offer other people,
and that's why I kind of already from the start separated you. I said I know, and you as like kind of separate.
I refuse to believe that I am alone on this island. I don't think that's true.
All right,
I did offer
to 3:30 a.m.
The island may be
I appreciate
you are
you,
not
Chief.
alone on it.
I'm going to be looking for the debate topic from you and Coin. So if you guys want to discuss it amongst yourself, something that you guys are argument or that you guys are on different positions of, but I do have a couple more ideas that I'm going to suggest and see. Anyways,
it might be a debate about the winners of this debate. All right, see you next time. Later.
See you later. Yep.
Thanks for the debate, everyone.
We ought to debate sometime. Damn.
I did offer to argue for the other side before.
You did.
All three of us offered to do it.
I actually want to ask a question now of the people who are remaining, because I know Chief's opinion and I know Conan's opinion. I actually think I know Game Boy's opinion on this as well, although actually no, because something he said recently kind of made me think maybe I'm wrong. But I'm only going to do this for about another 30 minutes. This is an important question. Is this worth it? What we're doing here? Because I've been getting some shit from people in my orbit who think that I shouldn't be doing the competitive debate style because they believe that literally what I'm doing is inherently platforming shitty ideas because I'm putting some sort of a topic up, like last time, the Holocaust thing, right? I'm putting up something that they feel is unethical to even be discussed, that it should be so self-evident that for me to give the opportunity for somebody to make a strong argument in support of that position is bad.
Now,
is that true?
I literally sat there and I went back to your stream. That was the third to last stream you made. I went there and I watched it, and I was watching it all the way through, and I heard a discussion with your friend, and I was like, what is he saying? Because first off, this is a small platform. The idea that you're giving this to a ton of people is absurd in the first place. Most of the people that watch you already have a sorted opinion. And honestly, the only thing we could possibly do is pull them further left, since majority of the people here are actually somewhat to the left of that ideology. Now, the other part of that didn't make any sense to me was, why are we always telling people who are anyway to the left to not choose anything that might come off as cheap or might come off as like selling out to like just to get the views and stuff like that? But then the people on the right who have a full-on pipeline or a whole all right pipeline have done that constantly, and it's shown that they're much better at it than the left because the left refuses to do that. It's absurd. And I think this happens every time. I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think it's great to build a platform, even if it involves some dramatics to it. It's fine. I think that it's necessary at this point.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I got something for you. You have to choose between two things. Do you want to grow an audience, or do you want to give out ideas? Because you have to choose between the two of those. If you want to grow an audience, you need to have the blood sport. People show up for the blood sport. They don't show up for quote unquote good conversations. No one gives a shit about good conversations. Anybody that says people give a shit about good conversations is fucking retarded, because that's not how Twitch operates, and that's not how any of these online places operates. Lethe knows exactly what I'm talking about. I've been in this space in Twitch and YouTube for over 4 years, and the people that have brought on the quote unquote wholesome conversations with people having conversations about ideas and whatnot, they all go to shit. None of them have lasted. And those that did last switched over to the blood sport aspect of it. So you need to choose.
Ask you,
do you want audience or do you want
what do you mean by
conversation?
blood sport?
Blood sport means that you literally need to pin somebody who's far left against far right and have them go at it like just go at each other's throats and make the dumbest, most retarded arguments possible, so that your audience just eats that up instead. You die inside. Trust me, you will die inside with that, but you'll grow an audience.
You can also just constantly viciously attack right wingers. My fault.
Think of this a lot like wrestling, like WWE wrestling. Everybody has their own wrestler that they like, and they're vehemently on their side. There's no changing sides whatsoever. They want to see their wrestler in a match. That's it. They don't care. They want to see that Royal Rumble with their wrestler in that match, and that person that's running that is trying to push themselves as hard as they possibly can to be the loudest motherfucker in that place, the loudest retard in the room, so that they can give what they want to give to their audience. And you're just facilitating those wrestlers to be in there to be as loud, obnoxious, and retarded as possible.
So, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a truth pill. I hate to give it, but that's
I have
exactly
an answer,
how
but
things work.
I have an answer. I'm gonna respond, but Game Boy, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you respond first. I'm more curious what you have to say.
Well, again, it's just going to be a brief history of myself, because Desperado, I'm guessing you don't really know anything about my background here, but I've been streaming for 3.5 years now. And you literally sort of told the story, because in my naivete, and here's the answer as well. Like, my answer is going to be coming in here as well, because I understand that is the pickle, right? I unfortunately am I
That
have
was my
certain
quirks.
fun. So let's use that word, quirks. I have certain quirks, right? That make me stick to my principles. Many people call it dying on my sword, et cetera, where I am the guy who's going to say, no, this is my principled stance and I'm going to stay here. I'm going to watch the wash. I'm going to stand here while the wave takes me out. Okay. That said, when I first started streaming, I created the Everyday Stoners. That was what we were doing. And I had actually taken, a minority transgender woman who was an anarcho-communist,
DEI.
as well as a far-right, middle-aged, fat, white, Trump-loving Republican. And I brought the two of them into my studio here in the Hotbox. We all got blazed out of our fucking minds together, and we talked. And I felt, because here's the thing, and you guys kind of see this happen. I have a tendency to have an effect on the energy in a conversation for whatever reason, for good or ill. I don't do it consciously, but I see that it's a thing. So I'm a natural moderator. I help people get along, whatever. My energy seems to have that effect on people. And so I try to use that to facilitate conversation between two opposite ends of the spectrum. I did what you're talking about, but I tried to do it with morality. I tried to do it with principles. Now, it worked great for about 6 months. And then the two of them, by that time, we had our 566th capitalist versus communist versus socialist debate. And I was losing my fucking hair over it. That's a joke because I'm bald. But also the other two people who were tangentially involved were like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I'm literally going to move from a state because this is so not fun for me anymore. So the whole thing dissolved. I realized that having a calm and reasonable conversation doesn't work. And the two of them were so at each other that they couldn't even be in the same room with each other. So that made me stop and say, fuck. Okay, maybe I can't get them all to get along. So what's the next best thing? Well, I can perhaps demonstrate a principled, reasonable, and intelligent approach to current events instead of being the hyperbolic, overcritical, fucking nonsense spouting piece of shit that is Twitch. And I'm still here. I'm still here, but I do not find anything. Now, it was funny because Chief mentioned that I was accused by Not So Erudite. I don't mean to not name drop, but I was on. That was my first ever public debate on Twitch. I did a bad faith and a good faith when she used to host, kind of what I'm doing here. She didn't do the 3v3 thing. She had to whatever, but that was where that was the first exposure that I had. So that said, go give her a follow if you don't know who she is. She's really cool. I'm an
OG member of her.
Fantastic.
Discord.
Okay, yeah.
So,
again, perfect. Again, like I said, I mean,
I was in her Discord before she had like 50 followers on YouTube on Twitch.
Fantastic. There you go. Like I said, again, I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but I'm just saying that was my first kind of exposure to this sort of side of Twitch, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to have these conversations, and she accused me of being the most wholesome debater she had seen, which I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. Let's run with that. Right now, it's funny because this was after the bad faith debate where I was first in the Care Bear costume, and I was intentionally being as lascivious as possible because the whole point was I was debating against a VTuber about the VTubers being the best, and so basically I was like, look, I can be sexy. IRL with and you not
was
and
that
I'm in
Chris
a costume
Speaks?
and
were
it
you
was
arguing against
I was indeed. Do you remember the debate? Fuck again. So
no, you just had to say I know who she platforms, so
okay, perfect. Yes, that was actually where I first started dealing with Chris Speaks as well. So again, shout out everybody. But the point is that said to me, okay, there is a space and a gap here where a wholesome and a good faith debater, a person who is willing to engage with calm rhetoric, there's a space, there's a gap, there's a need. No, I'm still here, bud. I'm still swimming. And I've never once have I been invited to anybody's panel. That's weird to me. Like it's not like an ego thing, but it's just like, okay. And the only thing that I can think of is I'm too nice. I don't do. Now, the funny thing is I am perfectly capable of doing the blood sports and I tone match.
That's it.
I know. Well, if somebody comes into my chat and starts being a cunt, I will fucking out cunt them. But I don't.
Chatter. Do it
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
on VC.
Honestly,
I don't mean to interrupt, but like that's
No.
a chatter.
So funny enough, you say that there is one particular person, and I'm not going to call this person out publicly, but there is one particular person in this space who has a significantly higher viewer count than me. One of my principled stances is I never reach out to people that I know have a significant, like I don't want to seem like I'm clout chasing, right? So
Casey's not that famous.
That's not who I'm talking about.
It's a song. It's
No,
not about me.
It's not. No, God, no. No.
No one needs to pull President Sunday. It's okay.
The point is this person just annoys me. Like I don't think I could actually in good faith engage with this person. So I'm never going to reach out to them because if they came in, I would be mean me. And I don't like mean me. I've spent 20 years of my marriage with her teaching me to stop being mean me.
But
so
we like mean you.
I know, but I don't want to have to use
Come
me.
on.
I know who it is.
I know. No, I don't want to know. The point is that whenever I decide to go blood sports, what I think you're saying is blood sports, it's going to be when I invite this person on for a one-on-one debate with me, and I will go full fucking hardcore. But I don't want to do that because that's not, again, like I just said, I'm not trying to be that. Like I'm trying to help the world be a better version. I don't think that's the way to fix it.
I'm just saying the thing I'm just trying to get with that is that people who want to grow an audience, they do blood sports. People that are in it for the long game and are fine being like a 20 viewer Andy do the meaningful conversation.
And can I just say that it'd also be cool if you did other things too. I'm just saying, like, why am I speaking? It'd be cool if we did other things too. Like like the what's it called? The Jackbox. That'd be dope. I think that'd probably attract people to watch it too. I think if you
I found that it brings the wrong crowd. So
the crowd that we saw earlier.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not the first time. I haven't had that happen since Jackbox Games, funny enough. So real quick, the reason that I was asking this, and I'm asking because now that I don't know if you'd be interested in participating in these 3v3 debates, Desperado, but I'd love to have you because you're obviously a debater, and that's what I'm looking for is people who can do this. Now, that said, I like the 3v3 debate platform or the debate that format, and I'm kind of changing it every time, taking notes, taking suggestions, taking feedback, what works, what doesn't work, etc. One of the things that has been suggested, go ahead, Gorps.
I have a tip for you on the format side.
Yep. Nope.
There was a point earlier where the judges asked a question and one side or the other side could answer.
Yes.
I think so let's say the affirmative answers. I think having the other side be able to rebut that a bit would be very nice. Because I think my whole side was chomping at the fucking bit.
To get the other team's answer or the other team's question, basically?
To counter argue, basically.
Yeah.
To be like,
Okay.
no, you're stupid. But
that's fair. I did not give the opportunity for retaliation, except that went before the open conversation part, right?
Yeah,
so
no,
I was hoping that would open y'all up.
I get why. I get why, but it's so separated that it kind of feels hard to continue us.
How many of y'all have a notebook in front of you of some sort? I'm just curious.
I have a notepad that I had up and it was on my screen the whole time.
Like
I type on a computer screen.
Okay,
I don't use antiquated technology.
It would go terribly if I tried to write something down.
I'm old.
I would have come back to every single thing that I wrote.
I'm a teacher.
But had I done that, it would have taken the entire 45 minutes just myself. So
fair enough.
You can't fix all of that. Part of that's me. But I would recommend a rebuttal to the questions asked.
Sure. Well, okay, so back to what I was saying. Not just the format of the 3v3. I want to stick with the 3v3. It works better whenever everybody shows up on time. But that said, it's a nice 2-hour format. It's tight. That's cool. I like it. And I don't see anybody else doing team debates like that, which it gives some time for individual questions, some time for individual oration, and then some time for all of y'all talking together. Like I said, I like it. There
are a few people that used to do like 2v2s and 3v3s, but some of those were either blood sports or they were actually like wholesome conversation. I know for a fact that Fnatic used to do a 2v2 on the Fnatic show. And that was something that he actually liked doing.
Yeah, I've never heard of
that.
No,
it was less than 2 years ago.
Okay, I guess I just didn't see him. See, that's another thing.
I'm his editor.
I look at other people who are streaming in the space, and but I also am very careful because, again, back to the whole clout chasing. I don't want to follow somebody as a streamer. I don't want my name popping up on a big streamer's. Like, it's just whatever. Anyway, so, God damn it, I had a back to my question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Use another account is what I was going to say, but
no, I do actually. That's exactly what I do. I have a mod account that is the Horseradish. Like, I have my name without the underscore, because originally I was streaming as the Everyday Stoners, and I had my moderator account as my personal account, the Horseradish. And so then whenever I turned this into just me streaming instead of the Everyday Stoners, it's like I can't give myself my fucking proper name, so huzzah. But if you look up either one, you're gonna find me. So
I was just saying that you should use an account with a different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to hear what you're saying.
I was saying it wouldn't work. Definitely same name.
We didn't hear a word you said, man.
Yeah, your butt cut out there for like
the great thing you should do was
and fucking Mike, bro. I think it is. I think it is fascist.
It is. So anyway, back to what I was going to ask though. So somebody suggested that I also give some space for 1v1 debates, right? And one of the problems that I've had in the past was not having a stable of debaters who, like, regularly that I could count on, people who were into this sort of thing, right? But if I had 20 or so, which I'm getting at about that number, where I've got about 20 people who sometimes are yeses and sometimes are nos, then maybe I can get to a point where I have people who are like, hey, I want to call out so-and-so, which then led to somebody else suggesting that I actually put myself out there as specifically the person who is being called out. So another idea that was suggested was me doing a 1v1 debate after the 3v3 debate. But once again, and this is the key, this is the other thing that I learned from the Everyday Stoners, I don't like counting on other people for this to work. And so if I'm in that situation, I now have to count on, first of all, somebody else that I got to schedule another debate. I also need somebody else who's going to moderate for that. Or like, I need 2 more judges who are going to like, fuck now. And so again, as we saw tonight, if one person's running late, the whole thing falls off the rails. And again, nothing against, but I just, it's just, I worry about adding more to it. But if there's an interest, I'd also like to provide that, because I just enjoy debate. Like, whether I'm doing it or I'm watching it or I'm moderating it, whether I'm judging it, like, I don't care. I just enjoy like, this is fun to me. This is UFC for words. So whatever I can do to facilitate this, I would like to do. So back to my question. If you guys think that it's valid, what do you think I should add to make it better?
To make it better, what I think you should really
add.
I think
that 1v1s or 2v2s would be fun for you to bring into your arsenal.
Okay.
Of course, Gorp.
But you would have to do them more often. I think that's the trade-off that you would have to give. I also spoke
Gorp
first
also
because
copies
it's
me
late.
all the time.
Shut the fuck up.
It.
I also spoke first because it's late. I have to go to bed.
Word.
So that's my 2 cents. Have fun. I hope you have a good rest of your stream.
Shout out, Gorps. Appreciate you.
You're gay.
And
Game Boy's gay. I'm always correct. If you
Yep.
think that
Everybody
you're
click Gorps' name in chant. And
I already blocked him on all
shut
platforms.
the fuck up, Game Boy.
And consider this an official invite to be a judge at the next one. All right. Have a great night, Gorps.
DM
me.
I'm
down.
All right. Fuck you guys.
So what I was going to say is that if you really want to see people debate and debate well and really kind of like drive the knife in a different way, shorten the time that they have to respond. Because people like to TED Talk, and they can take 45 minutes or to a minute to basically say something that can be said in 10 seconds. So if you're giving them 2 minutes, give them 45 seconds. If they can't say it in 45 seconds, tell them that's their problem.
So this is really good advice, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Funny enough, that relates to something I don't know if y'all noticed, but I don't know when you actually tuned in tonight, by the way, but I was one of the judges recommended at the 5-minute mark that hey, last 5 minutes, everybody, because he thought that it was actually less, Chief. I guess there's no reason for me to keep this secret.
Lonzo was talking about the Black Panthers when I jumped in.
Yeah. Okay.
I was?
Cool. So let's Chief.
Yeah, you spoke about the Black Panthers and California and Ronald Reagan.
At the 5-minute mark, yeah. to hold on. We can come back, but I want to finish what we're talking about with the suggestion. Whenever I mentioned that there was only 5 minutes left, that sense of urgency did indeed bring the conversation back to topic. So there's something to what you're saying. That sense of urgency definitely helped. One of the things that had been asked of me, or that was suggested, and I tend to monologue. Obviously, we're all streamers, though. Which streamers monologue?
It's your platform, your choice.
I hear you, but I have people who I actually like. Literally, my wife watches the fucking stream from time to time, and she was like, "Yeah, so you're talking a lot," and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm supposed to do. But she was right. This is when I was doing the panels. If I want to talk, I can stream by myself. But I'm bringing in panelists because I want people to engage with and to engage with each other. Literally what I'm doing right now, where it's like, if I want to do this, I can just talk to my chat. I can just talk to myself. I can talk to the fucking camera, right? All of you guys aren't real. I hope you know that. You're just figments of my imagination and your AI generated characters that my parents and
I think he caught on.
Yeah, no,
I am a Fig Newton of your imagination.
He's caught on, guys.
But again, I was told, and so that was why I was like, you know what? I'm going to just fucking moderate. I'm just going to keep track and watch chat and et cetera, et cetera. And I am enjoying it. And then afterwards, again, I have pages of notes where I can be, and you didn't say this. And why didn't you say this? I didn't do it as much tonight, but for like, this is fun for me, right? Is to be here. Now,
do you have any notes for me?
Oh, absolutely.
I was going to ask about that.
I kept my mouth shut because again, it's like ultimately, my opinion. What the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, does it matter? I'm not a judge. I'm just a moderator. Like and it's funny because even that somebody had suggested that my Monday night solo stream be me watching the VOD of this and critiquing it as a debater, like going through and doing but I'm like, and again, this is the principles that I die on my sword, et cetera, et cetera. I don't like doing reaction content because it seems, first of all, overly masturbatory, but second of all, because I don't want to argue against somebody who's not here to defend their points. Like if I'm listening to you say a thing and then I stop it and I say, this is why you're dumb and wrong, blah, 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 but you're not there to counter that. Well, that's fucked. That's stupid. That's shitty. And then I saw the absolute inception moment the other night when I'm not saying any names, but I clicked on a streamer who I participate or I interact with on stream that is debated here. And this person is watching somebody who is watching somebody who is watching somebody. Like, who are you even fucking talking to now? Like, so again, the only
you don't like drama streamers?
No, I don't. And the only reaction content that I do is reacting to the news. Like I literally like scrolling the news. That was what I did when I was doing it full time. I'm just scrolling the news. Now, this is the other side to this. And this is the other counterpoint to what you were saying. The time of day, my friend. So what I discovered was that Europeans, for whatever reason, are way more polite, way more willing to engage in good faith, way more likely to actually have a wholesome, useful conversation. And I streamed full-time daytimes when my father was, the last 2 years of my father's life, I was his caretaker. He was not able to care for himself. So during that time, basically I was sitting out here streaming, watching the news and painting miniatures with a baby monitor, right? So that said, streaming in the daytime, I found that I actually did get really good numbers, but it was all European people. And so then
Warhammer 40K, Gunpla, what are you painting?
Well, I minis? Do. Sure. Yes. You can keep going. So I started out with Warhammer 40K. I didn't know anything about the game. I'm okay. See, you're making me fucking monologue again, dude. So you ask the ADD kid a question about his hobbies. What's going to happen? Fuck off. Anyway. So yeah. So I have always loved like the idea of the miniatures, and one time I saw, yes. Oh, I can't. Right there, buddy. Look at my paint collection. Right there, buddy. That's my beautiful collection of paints.
I'm supposed to call y'all nerds.
Yes, no. So anyway,
and then take your lunch money.
Good luck trying, big guy. Good luck trying. I literally learned to fight because of people who tried to take my lunch money because I was a nerd. Anyway, so yeah, I started out because a nephew of mine was trying to get me to play the game, and I was like, I would love to, but I don't know anything about it. And so he had bought a 2-person starter kit, and so he wanted to keep all the weird Necrons. I now know what they're called. Like I used to say the weird zombie face people, but now I know they're called Necrons. Anyway, and then he gave me the Coast Guard. What do you call them? The Space Marines. And so I put the little fuckers together. My dad was a big time model car guy. I never got into it, but I put the guys together and I kind of enjoyed it. And then I tried painting them and I kind of enjoyed it. And then I found out I actually even kind of had a knack for it. So I kept doing it, but I don't like once I started learning about the game, I was like, fuck these guys. I actually love the orcs. So I spent way too much money on a shit ton of orcs. Incidentally, one of my few voice acting credits was doing orc voices for a 40K, some 40K like fan thingy, whatever. But anyways, so I fucking love the orcs, right? And I've got a shit ton of them, and I loved painting them, but I don't have anybody to play with because that nephew flaked out on me. So what I'm currently painting, to answer your question, is, have you ever heard of Hero Quest?
Yes.
So I am currently painting my Hero Quest. You can't see you because of the fucking green screen. You can't see my vines and shit. Yeah, but you can't see the vines. It's okay.
Are they green?
Yes. I'm glad you put that together, Lonzo. But yeah, so like I'm going through and painting the entire set of these little fuckers. And it's cool because now, even if I can't find anybody to play the goddamn game with me, I at least have something like in the neighborhood of 300, 400 goddamn little miniatures to paint. So yeah, that's what my Monday night stream is me sitting here painting miniatures and watching videos, usually UFO or UAP or conspiracy theory shit, which that's the other thing with me is it's like, I asked the question that you asked me. This was a really long-winded fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want viewers or do I want to make a difference, right? Like that's the way I look at it. Like that's not your verbiage, but yeah, I want to make a difference.
It is.
I don't care.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, I don't care if I ever get famous. I don't care if I ever make money. I make $50 a month doing this. Like I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing debate. I enjoy doing the miniatures. I'm doing the things that I enjoy doing. Plus, if I'm being honest, it saves my wife and I's marriage, 20 years, by the way, because I have you fucking people to argue with instead of having to argue with her, right? Like this debate side of me exists whether I want it to or not. And so if I don't have an outlet for this, then she and I will debate bro my wife. And that does not make for a happy marriage for those of you who do not know.
It's 11 years for me with my wife. So
cheers. Congratulations, my friend. Absolutely. So yeah, completely, totally ran off the rails there. I'm sorry. LGBTQ and non-LGBTQ love painting tiny things. I feel like that's what is that is.
I was responding to the previous comment.
So everybody.
Do y'all debate how gay painting minis is? What? What?
That is a good. I have debated that before. I think.
Well, like I said, got to bully y'all. Seems kind of gay to me.
That's true. It does.
And those are my paintings in the back. I mean, I might be gay too then, technically, by my standard.
I'm skeptical of any man who's good at art. I'm skeptical.
I'm not good at art.
So you're against tattoo artists too? What is this, Game Boy?
Yeah, no, that's pretty gay. Yeah, that's pretty gay.
And for what it's worth, Game Boy, I'm skeptical of any man who won't show his face behind his words.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. But I'm also bisexual.
I don't see how that has anything to do with what I said.
It's not a
How is that
retort.
in any way related? Yeah, you missed.
Play my trap card.
That's exactly what that was. So anyway, well, I'm gonna start tying this up myself because it's my bedtime. Speaking of aforementioned
Well,
wife,
before you tie it up, I gotta ask a question.
yes, sir.
Shoot. It's relating to current events. How do you feel
Oh.
about a certain individual catching a work release program?
Tell me more. Maybe there's something I missed.
A certain Jelaine Maxwell.
Yeah, I assume that's who you're referring to.
To get a work release program after being moved
That's
to
actually a
minimum
thing?
security prison. Yes.
Yeah, the minimum security prison that she's in has like hot yoga. I mean, she can apply for leave. I mean, they've got, what is it, movie night? They've got a whole bunch of shit.
First of all, obviously, I'm sure this is a self-evident response, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. I understand that it is illegal for a convicted sex offender to be put in this type of facility at all, but we also understand that that doesn't matter anymore. I think that
not when the Justice Department can lower the actual number on that number limit that requires them to be in a particular facility.
The idea that a convicted sex trafficker, a convicted sex offender, specifically a person who was convicted of recruiting minors into sexual trafficking, is going to have the opportunity. I don't know exactly, Lethe, what you're asking or where this is at in the process. Like, I'm going to look these details up, but the idea that that's even on the table, that person would have a work release program of any sort, is disgusting, repugnant, ludicrous, and totally fucking plausible.
It's no longer on the table. It was already done.
No, fuck you. Oh my.
But you must look at it from the lens. Ghislaine Maxwell was a great friend to Donald Trump. I mean, truly a great friend. She was with him all the time, except for when she was messing with children. And you must understand that under that lens, I mean, just look at it from Trump's perspective.
What is he supposed to do?
Just look at it from his perspective. Just look at it from his perspective. Look really hard from his perspective.
Keep saying it.
You have to understand.
Got me convinced.
For what it's worth, there, Big Real. The debating took place earlier, and yes, it is absolutely debate. Debate with structure and judges and format and a debate prompt. The debate prompt, we're actually closing up shop here. Like, we're literally sweeping up and counting tips. So, yeah, we're kind of past the debate portion of the night, and we're now in the let's all sit around and bullshit phase.
The hourly workers are giving us the look at the door.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Gorp definitely pulled some dirty tactics putting all those dicks on the screen. I really blame him for that.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to address the elephant dick in the room. I was not pleased at the fact that happened. I really do believe that it was the public or the community server thing, because whenever I turned on the community server, I did it hastily, and I figured I would fix it afterwards. Never occurred to me that it would be that quick of an issue. But apparently, whenever I did that, there is something in the to do that I just kind of smashed past to what the default permission is, and it seems that the default permission that it gave everybody was you can just join anywhere you want and do whatever the fuck you need. So again, did it undo my yes, exactly, Rook. That is exactly what it did. Well, so it's not that it undid the existing perms, it's the way that my perms are set up. The first thing you get only gives you access to one room. right? But then it has to give you because of this shit, because of Jackbox Games, I have to then go in whenever I see somebody's joined. It's not like I got a herd of people joining. So, and I get a notification if somebody joins. So even if I'm at work or whatever, I can be like, oh, now I have learned when somebody joins randomly, if I'm not streaming, hey, where'd you find out about me? How'd you find us? Like, what are you here for? I then won't let somebody just come, like I'll give them the first level of permission of you can type, but you can't talk, like you can't chat. You can't jump in any rooms. You can only see certain rooms. So I can see that you're a real person and you're not a fuck piece of shit. Then once I've seen that for a week, I'll give you the permission where you can actually jump in the room. If I asked you here and I know you're a streamer, you automatically get the everyday streamer, which gives you literally full access to say anything you want, join any room in the room. Fucking huzzah. Welcome to the chat. However, for apparently whenever it defaulted, for some reason, the default gave it like the everyday streamer. So basically everybody who joined somehow magically had all the permissions to do whatever the fuck they wanted. Or maybe it created its own baseline that superseded they didn't come in the normal. I don't fucking know what the problem was, is the point. But so that was horrible. So
can I get those notes next time you do one of these? Because I never got mine. Also, this is my first debate. So
really? Well,
yeah.
Everybody, come on. I feel like we should smoke a cigarette after that then, buddy. You didn't tell us you were bringing us your virginity. Okay, so yeah, no, I will
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I'm the youngest person here. Man,
Are you coming back
I
for
know you're of
sloppy
age.
seconds?
I know you're of age. Anyways, no. Okay, so I can actually give you some notes. Let's see, where were you, Lonzo? Oh wow, no, I can't read that. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
He wrote in a way where what he was writing was cutting out every 2 to 3 seconds. So he'd write something and it'd skip a few words and then write again.
Oh, okay, no. I remember. I'm sorry. Because I'm writing in lots of little tiny notes in there. So
this is picture, Mike.
Tying to Trumps was what I was saying. No, you have fix your mic. That was the big one. That took most of the space. No, the fact that you were tying to Trump, you were the first one to do it, tying to Trump's fascism, the need for a response. Gorps ended up piggybacking off of that later, but you were the first one who actually introduced the idea of, hey, we can all agree that what Trump is doing currently is fascist, right? We need to engage with that publicly and fight against it. And so therefore, the only thing we can do in the current situation is to debate fascists, because otherwise they're just going to take control. The way that you were the first one to tie fascism to Trump's administration in the debate, and that was really well done. Another thing, your cross-examination was good at first, but I wish that you would have, because in the cross-examination phase, you should be setting up your own position, right? This is debate 101. You never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Okay. So again, I'm guiding the conversation using your positions. I'm asking and don't ever let the other, and this was the big drop for you, was you let the other person monologue. And you should have taken control of that conversation.
Yeah.
Kept hammering them with questions so that you can then hold their answers against them in your 3-minute opening. So as far as constructive criticism, use that cross-ex time better and control the conversation. And you don't have to be like a dick about it. You know what I mean? But you just want to control where they're going with it. And if they start getting off of the question you asked, bring them back to it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Didn't want to be misogynistic. I was just like, oh, I'll let it.
Sure.
Oh,
well, yeah,
wow,
no, absolutely.
No, just
now, I don't remember where the other thing was and I think this was you, because I've got it underneath you, so I assume it's you. The humanization of Nick Fuentes thing. That actually was, or maybe that was
Game Boy.
That was Game Boy. Okay.
What did I do?
Okay. No, just that.
My opinion on Nick Fuentes was that he was a Nazi
Nick
and
Fuentes
that he's
thing.
never been humanized. The whole thing about Nick Fuentes, my opinion on Destiny and Nick Fuentes is that that Destiny is barely even a liberal, mostly just a contrarian, but that he should have never debated Nick Fuentes because he is terrible at providing actual alternatives. He's just good at debating people. He would never offer a left-wing actual alternative.
He also got him chicken and waffles. That was very persuasive.
Oh my God! Wait, for real?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
You didn't see that?
I mean, it was his boyfriend. No, I don't like either of those two people. I would probably do something if I had to listen to that for any time.
It would not end well for me. Yeah.
No.
That's another thing. Is like I really know nothing about Nick Fuentes except the fact that there was apparently the sexual tryst between.
I just know the video of Tucker Carlson calling him a boy from a gay weird boy from Chicago, and that was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So something I also was surprised was nobody talked about Milo Yiannopoulos. I figured that name would come up at least once.
He's irrelevant at this point.
I thought that was just dead in the water, but that was one of like my 5 examples I was going to bring up. It was going to be the National Alliance.
Just the fact that he got deplatformed the way that he did.
Well, he self-cooked himself. Like he literally was normalizing relations with young children with grown adults.
Yep. But
to be fair, we can all agree with that.
To be fair, we can. To be fair, by putting these ideas, we platformed a person who had toxic positions and ideas, and that person lost all credibility on the public stage. And also, we were able to demonstrate why that idea or that his positions were bad. That's the benefit of debating these people publicly, is you give them the opportunity to show their ass. Just like with Nick Fuentes, whenever people, again, when we publicly give him the opportunity to be a dumbass, it helps, I think. But again, that's just, I still hold my position.
That's what I think.
I appreciate everyone y'all.
He also stepped on a few toes with the right and whatnot, and that kind of got him kicked out of the money train
club.
The money train that funds him.
You're not with the cool fascist kids anymore. We don't like you anymore.
That's what got Richard Spencer as well. He started down this path of, I no longer am convinced of the alt-right movement being successful, and I'm seeing that liberals are continuously successful at undermining me. And he slowly was convinced of liberal ideas and liberal geopolitics until now he's a liberal influencer who believes in Nietzsche rather than a fascist who believes in Nietzsche, which is very interesting. I watch this stuff on the regular.
The geopolitics? How many times should we bomb?
Y'all are welcome to keep going. I gotta dip. I gotta go to bed.
One other thing, Horseradish.
Yeah, go ahead.
One other thing I'd say, try doing this since you're going to be the moderator. Anytime somebody brings up a talking point, whether it's a right-wing talking point, liberal talking point, or left-wing talking point, make them expound upon it and make them talk about it more than just the actual talking point, because talking points are fucking retarded.
Isn't that what the debaters should do? Like, that's the point of the debater. They should
you need to do it. You should do it as the moderator to show that they can't come here with these dumb ideas and try to make these dumb ideas stick.
And I just worry that then I'm going to be debating, and I want to be careful about that, because that's my inclination, is to do exactly.
That's a good moderator, though.
Well, but here's the thing: you just tell them to clarify. You need to clarify that. I can see this on any Fox News network. I can see this on CNN if I just turn on the TV. How is this different than that talking point? What can you expound upon that? That just sounds like a dismissive argument that you're trying to make here.
We will. We will communicate again, Mr. Desperado. It was a pleasure meeting you. Welcome to the conversation.
Also, I live in Japan. It's 5 p.m. my time, so whether I can or cannot, it will all depend on whether or not I have Aikido class.
I hear you. Nope, no worries. So, we do this every other week. So, and we'll talk about that as well, like why I'm doing it every other week. But I gotta go to bed. I'm so fucking tired. So,
take care.
Good night, humans. I appreciate y'all. See y'all again next time.
And I'm gonna reach out myself. So, gonna blast y'all. Appreciate the chat. Chat is always correct.
No, they are
Except
not.
they're
They
not.
lied. No, I want a
was-
recount.
I was
Shot never
fully
lies.
willing to like send my exact arguments like into your chat if it wasn't shared, just to like whisper in your ear what I'm about to say in response to. But
Why do you describe it like that?
like just whisper like the little devil on your shoulder, like you're wrong.